Hey guys, and welcome. And today we're going to be creating our very first chatbot for our car dealership. So keep in mind this chatbot can be implemented on your website, your social media channels, and can answer any question related to your inventory, finance, all that kind of stuff, and can also book appointments. So let's get started here. So first we're going to go to voiceflow.com. So as you can see up here in the URL, you're going to want to go to voiceflow.com. You're going to create an account, and then you're going to create a new assistant. So once you create a new assistant, you'll be into this page here. You'll title it. And the very first thing that we are going to do is we're going to click on content. We're going to click on the little brain icon here, and we're going to go into our knowledge base. So our knowledge base is our AI's brain, all the information relevant to our company. So we're going to add in all that data through here. So on the right hand side, you're going to see add data source. You're going to be able to add in the relevant URLs, sitemaps, text, PDFs, and documents. So anything that you have related to your business, you can put into the knowledge base. So I'd suggest obviously going in and adding in all the URLs for all of the tabs in your website, from the Meet Your Team page to the pre-owned new vehicle page, all that. Try to add in as many as you can. And then what I would then recommend is add in any PDFs or relevant information. But also it's really important that you do not have conflicting information that the AI is going to get confused. So if it says on one PDF, it says one thing, and then it says something else on another, you're going to want to make sure that it's all consistently the same so that the AI doesn't confuse itself and then come up with an error. So really make sure that the knowledge base is dialed in, that you have everything in properly, and then we can get started. Also, if you see here, we can go into our knowledge base settings. So what type of GPT do you want to use? So with Voiceflow, we use tokens. So for the amount of prompts that we are giving out, it's going to use a certain amount of tokens. So obviously with GPT-4, which is the most recent, it's going to be more tokens. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but that's the one that I'm going to go with here. And then so now here with temperature, so the lower the temperature, the more precise the response is going to be, and the higher the temperature, it is going to be a little bit more random. Also with the tokens, is also just going to help with that response as well. So the higher tokens, the more efficient the response. So I'm going to keep mine around 200 here. Okay, and we also are going to now come into our system here. So this is where you're telling the AI exactly what it is and what it's doing. So I'm just going to say here, I'm going to use my other one here for here we go. Okay, so we're going to tell it here, you work, this is for your dealership, for select iCar, which is a car dealership. You are a virtual assistant that helps customers find more vehicles and get more info. If customers have objections, try and help them. Give information on the car. Oh, where am I at here? They are looking for, sorry. If that vehicle is not in stock, try and match them with something else or similar. Always give the exact URL, please. Okay, so now we've given our AI specific instructions on how to deal with the conversation. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hit save. and we are going to go to our designer here. So you're going to see all these layers here in the top left corner. We're going to click on that. And now we're going to come to our main designing page. So now what we're going to do is we are going to hit the little start icon here. So we're going to be able to bring a little string thing out, and it's going to give us a list of options. So these are all the options that we can choose here. So we're going to now have an opening prompt. So we're going to hit talk, and we're going to hit welcome to select iCar. Let's give our AI a name, because why not, right? I'm Lily. Yeah, I'm Lily. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to hit text again. We're now going to say, I'm here to help you with any select iCar related inquiries. Okay, and now we're going to add in another block here. And we're going to say, what would you like to start with today? Okay, so now rather than them just telling you, we're going to give them some options. So it's really important. As much as we are using AI, we need to think of this AI like a customer service rep or a sales rep, rather. We want it to control the conversation and we want it to control the outcome. So what we have to now do is we're going to add in our listen buttons. Okay, so we are going to say, show me vehicles. And we're going to add in another button that is going to say, schedule test drive. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put capitals on these. Okay, and what are we going to do now? We're going to add in another button here, and it's going to say contact us. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to create another prompt here, and we are going to, now for show me vehicles, we're going to create a component. Okay, and always, and make sure that these little arrows come to the very top of the block. We're going to call this show me vehicles. Okay, and we're going to create another prompt here to a component, and it is going to be called the schedule test drive. Okay. And lastly, we're going to create another one, and this is not going to go to a component. This is just going to go to another block, but we'll do that after. Okay, so we're going to have three options here for our customers. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create this component, create new component. Okay, and we're going to call it show me vehicles component. Okay, and now what we're going to do, okay, so now notice how it says continue here. So we're going to continue into this component, which is a separate page altogether. And we are going to now go, okay, we're going to create another prompt here. What type of vehicle are you looking for? Okay, and then we're going to create another one. It's another question. Once they answer it, and we're going to answer these very shortly here. We're going to put in capture icons, but first we're going to get the questions. So now we're going to ask it, what is your budget? Again, make sure this comes to the top. What is your budget? And so now what we're going to do is we're going to create now, so people are going to be answering these questions. So we want to make sure that we have in the right listen feature here. So this is, we have three choices here. So we can add in buttons like we did before, or we can add in an AI capture. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag this out here. Okay. And we are going to create an utterance and we're going to call it, oops, one sec. Get rid of that. Create new variable, and we're going to call this one type vehicle. Oops, learn to spell. Create variable. Oh, right. Okay, I don't have to put those brackets in. It'll put on those brackets automatically. Okay, so type vehicle, and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go to capture. What is your budget? We're going to get rid of this here. Create new variable. We're going to call this one car budget. Okay, so it's creating a variable for that. We're going to create this and bring this up here. And now what we're going to do is, now that it's answering these questions, we're going to go to here and we're now going to do a response AI. So it's going to either go into the knowledge base or it's going to go into just the general AI that anybody can use. So as you can see here, data source, AI model, or knowledge base. We want it going into the knowledge base because it's going to be extracting information from there specifically. So we're going to click on that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to give it instructions. So right where it actually says question here, not a apparently there's an issue with my audio. Okay, so now what we're going to do, now that we have this, so now what we're going to do is we need the AI to respond to these questions. So these are simply just to capture the information. Now we need the AI to respond. So what we are going to do is we have this AI option here. So we're going to drag over the response AI. Okay, and what we are going to do is we're going to link this to the top. Once we click on this, so now what it can do is it can extract information either from the AI model, which is just the regular GPT-4 model that anyone can use. So if you're asking any question about anything else, it'll answer it. But we want it to go into the knowledge base specifically and answer questions about, obviously, what type of vehicle and about the budget. So we're going to go into the knowledge base. We're going to now give the AI instructions, and actually we're going to put it in this top box, not where it actually says instructions, because this is optional. So we're going to put it into right here. We're going to tell it, find a vehicle close to what the user asked for based on, we're good. Okay, based on the type vehicle and car budget. Okay, so it's going to extract, what the user is saying in those boxes, and then give them the price of the car as well. And if you can, give them the URL also. Okay, so we're telling it to also give it the URL because that's more effective if the person can go and look at the vehicle if they want to know more about the mileage or the specs, all that kind of stuff. So, okay, so we have that now. So to just reiterate, we're clicking on knowledge base and we're going to ask it this question here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to test our bot. And we're always going to be doing this every time that we put in a new component or in a new thread. We're going to test it and make sure that it works. So what we're going to do here is, what type of vehicle you're looking for. Let's just say that we are looking for a Nissan Rogue. I don't even know if they have that in stock, but let's just see. Okay, let's say our budget is standard 25,000. Okay, so it's thinking. Okay, so they don't have. Okay, they're suggesting a 2017 Chevrolet Malibu four-door sedan is similar vehicle to the Nissan Rogue and is priced at 18,000. So it's giving us something similar because it doesn't have a Nissan Rogue, and we don't have a URL provided because I haven't added enough into the knowledge base because I'm just showing this video as an example. So that's why you want to make sure that your knowledge base is really dialed in, but that's good for now. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a follow-up response here. Okay, and we're going to say, so now that they got the vehicle information, could I book you in for a test drive? Okay, and then we're going to put a button here. Book me in for a test drive. Okay, and then we're going to come back to this, but what we have to do now is we got to go back to our main designer page here. So we're going to go to our home. Okay, so this is now, so we've got this component almost completed, but now we need to create our test drive component, which we then will link to this in a minute, but we're going to fill this out right now. So let's do this. We're going to name it, create new component. We're going to call this test drive. So this is just for people, maybe they already know what they want to, they already know the vehicle that they want to test drive. So we're giving them this option. So we're going to create this component now. And so what we're going to do is we're going to now create another thread here. So we're going to go which vehicle would you like to test drive? Okay, and now we're going to go again. We're going to go, could I get your name, please? Okay, and you can name all these blocks, but for the sake of this video, and I'm just going through this, I'm going to not name them and just save on some time here. So could I get your name, please? So all the standard information that you want to ask your prospective clients. What is the exact date you can come in? Okay, we're going to have this go to an API conversion. So this is now going to send the information out to our CRM, which is going to be Zapier, which is then going to extract all that information out into a Google Sheet so that our client, or so that you guys can have all that information for everybody to cross-reference and, you know, start dialing out to people and reaching out to them. So what we're going to do now is we are going to click on the API here. And we're going to not click yet. We're going to click post. Okay, because we're going to be posting it out to Zapier. So before I do that, though, actually, we're going to redo this part of the video. Okay, so now that we have this done, what we're going to do is we're going to add in our capture. Okay, so from our listen intent. So we're going to now go here, capture. We're just going to add all these in right now. Capture. Okay, so we're going to change our last utterance here to test drive. So we're going to have to create a new variable once again, just like we did in the last slot. And now we're going to click test drive. We're going to go here. We're going to delete that. We're going to go create new variable, test drive. Oh, sorry. That's not what I meant to put. Capture name. Okay. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to go capture number, capture date. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set up an API call. So the way that we do that, we create another block here. Device, we go to API, and now we're going to be posting it out to Zapier. So we're going to click on post. And the first thing that we're going to do here, so all these capture blocks, we have to put into the headers and parameters. So we're going to do that now. It's a little time consuming. So the first one we have is type vehicle. Now remember, you can name these blocks whatever you want to name these capture blocks. You can name them whatever you want, whatever you're going to recognize. So for the first one, for what I put for the vehicle, I put type vehicle. And I'm going to put the variable now. Again, this is time consuming, it's annoying. And then we're going to go, what's the next one? Capture name. And we're going to go capture name. It's also really important that you don't put any spaces in the headers or the parameters, or it won't register it. So just keep it all one word. And then we're going to go capture number. Okay, and the last one we have is capture date. Okay, and then we have to do this now again for the parameters, so the exact same thing that we just did. So type vehicle. I could have just put capture vehicle, but I didn't. Okay, and then we're going to put capture name. Okay, and then lastly, capture date. Once again. All right. Okay, so now we have that. Also, now what we can do, so it's going to send that out to Zapier, which will then go to our Google Sheet, where you'll have the list populate there. But obviously, once they give all their information, now what we're going to do is we're going to put in another block here and say, thank you very much, or whatever you want to put, representative will reach out to you shortly. Okay, so you can put that. And then, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into Zapier. So we're going to go to here, we're going to create a new Zap. We're going to click on trigger. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to webhooks by Zapier. And we are going to catch a hook because we're pulling in that information, for lack of better words. Okay, so we're going to test the trigger. Okay, it just tested it, so it gave us a URL. We're going to go back. We are going to now post this URL into here. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're now going to test this. So let's say we're gonna try that Malibu out. Oh, we didn't connect this. So always when you guys are going back and editing these, always make sure that these are always connecting back on top of the blocks. They will, if you go back and edit one, it'll get rid of it. So just make sure and just keep on top of that. Okay, so let's do this. What vehicle would you like to test drive? We're going to test drive that Malibu. Type. There we go. Okay, William. Yep. Okay, and we're going to say that we're going to come in January 23rd. Great. Okay, so the call was successful. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into Zapier, test the trigger. Okay, so all that information came in. So now what we need to do is we need to send it to our Google Sheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go continue with selected record. We're going to click on Google Sheets and we're going to go to event and we're going to go to create a spreadsheet row. We're going to hit continue. Hit continue again. We're going to choose what Google Drive. So my Google Drive in my case here. We're going to choose the spreadsheet. So you'll have to choose the spreadsheet already and make sure that you, where is it here? So make sure that you already title your headings here. So vehicle to test drive, name, phone number, date, and you'll see why in a second. So make sure you have those already. But what we're going to do here is now go and click on that Google Sheet. We're going to click on the worksheet, sheet number 1. Okay, so see how the titles have already populated here. So that's why you have to put them in here. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to put all this information in. So Malibu, put our name in here. We're going to put our phone number here. And we are going to put our date in right here. So now this will do this every time that somebody goes through your test drive prompt. It will do this every time, and it'll put this information in through here. So you don't have to do this through Zapier, obviously, every time. So you're going to click continue. We're going to test it. Okay, and there we go. There's the Excel file right there. So we see all that information came through. So that's good. Now we're done with that now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back. Okay, so we know now that the test drive works. We're going to click back. Now we're going to go to show me vehicles. So now where it says, could I book you in for a test drive? This is after they ask, okay, what vehicle they're looking for, what's the budget, blah, blah, blah. We're now going to connect this, and this is why we create the components. We're going to connect this to the component. There. So now when they go through this show me vehicles prompt, it'll now link back to the test drive. So there's always a call to action. It always finishes with a call to action. Nobody is ever just left without any sort of booking of some sort. So now keep in mind, you can do this with service bookings. You can do this with your parts department. You can do this with whatever department that you want to do it with, depending on how your dealership is structured and how you handle your own client acquisition process. So now what we can do is we can simply just put in, the information here. If somebody clicks on contact us, we can just prompt in all the information in through here and just give them all that information. But that was everything that I wanted to show you guys. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I will leave my email in the info or in the bio, and would most likely be able to help you out. So have a great day, and thank you very much for watching this video. And don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button.